Yo, what's up? It's Shad Anani the Reaper. Matrix Unlocked. We got the new channel popping, buzzing. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for all the support on the last videos. You know, um, just just here today observing, up here, getting a lot of information. That's what the channel was mainly, about sharing information. I came across this article regarding findings in the Americas of some of our ancestors. Um, there's a lot of back and forth going about you know we're all so-called black people that are here now. Were they always here? Were they here pre-colonial, or did we arrive in 1619 via the Atlantic slave trade? Now, my theory is pretty much with the original people on the planet that's been here for millions of years. I feel like it's very I feel like it's almost like a slap in the face to believe that we were confined to one place in the world, one continent, you know, during all of those years when we had all the tools, all the resources that promoted travel across the globe. I mean, anywhere you go on the planet, they can find the remains of the darker tone melanated people, which we refer to as black people. Um, so I kind of feel like just saying that we in general have only been here for what 500 years or so. I feel like that's just a slap in the face to our ancestors to think that they didn't travel, they didn't get out. I mean, these people were the same people that mapped the stars and the skies, the people that created the seasons, the people that gave you the time. Even going back to a lot of the Kemet, the days of ancient Kemet, when you hear the stories and find out the research that was done on the pyramids of Giza, with these three pyramids being perfectly aligned with um, the Orion's belt. These people are mapping out the Orion's belt with the pyramids and laying them out where they actually align on the equinox, the equinoxes that come two times a year. Then just to think that these people were that intelligent to build those pyramids and have ships, never traveled, never traveled the whole time to the Americas. But we hear stories, we hear tales of Abu Bakari, one of the kings of Mali, one of the richest kings that ever lived, who left the throne to his brother Mansa Musa. Um, Abu Bakari was a traveler, and he left Mali and allowed his brother to inherit the Mali Empire because he wanted to travel to the west. And Abu Bakari came to the Americas, and that was over 500, 600 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So to think that we only got here due to the transatlantic slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And then it's the proof that's coming out, and people are not really paying attention to. Um, I found an interesting video. It's called the video was the remains. I think it was over 11,000 years old. The remains of a woman in the Americas, and the scientists named her Lucia. And it's a very interesting story. I just want to share this with you guys, and you guys tell me what you think. Let's add this.
You're not gonna believe this. Did you know that the first American was a black woman? Watch this.
They are the oldest skulls in the Americas. And this is the oldest of them all. The skull of a young woman nicknamed Luthia by scientists. Can she tell us who the first Americans were? The skull was taken to a hospital in Rio de Janeiro to begin the process of reconstructing her face. The first stage was to make a three-dimensional CAT scan of Luthia's skull in order to build a replica. The cast was then given to Richard Neve of the University of Manchester in England, one of the world's leading forensic artists, to recreate her features.
That to me is a Negroid face that has all the features you associate with a Negroid face. The proportions of the face, it doesn't say anything about it being a Mongoloid.
They were so mad at finding out we was here first, they burnt down the museum her skull was in, found the fake skull, and tried to switch it back to being these people.
So yeah, we have information. We have tons of information that's out there um, that didn't make it into the school books. That just it seems like it was intentionally, um, it was purposely thrown out, and to think that our people who we identify as African American, a lot of us identify as African American. To think that we were only the products of or the descendants of slaves when we been here and pretty much been all over the globe before you know the imperialists that took power and controlled the information and the research was to tell us where we came from. So, I mean, it's up to you. I can keep dropping these jewels, these references of pieces of information for you. I know a lot of times new information is it's kind of like it's one of those things that's hard to swallow. You know what I'm saying? And I get it because you know it's been so much money dumped into you know African studies at all these major universities for our people to go and get these educational, get these degrees in and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a big business. It's a big business now to convince us that this is not our birthright, not our land. And the whole thing is to remove you from thinking that the land that you're on actually belonged to your ancestors. Your ancestors was here pre-colonial. You have incidents where Columbus diaries, when he landed in the Caribbeans, you know, he discovered people that he called Ethiopian looking people, people of a darker hue. And those people were the Taino Indians that, you know, pretty much saturated all of the Caribbeans, you know what I'm saying, throughout, one of the main islands, Puerto Rico, of course. You had Cuba, you had Jamaica. The Taino people was a whole nother culture that spread across the Caribbeans. And they all had their own language that they spoke amongst each other, the Arawak language. You can look this stuff up. I'm not just gonna give you something and tell you not to research it, but you can go and look this stuff up. This stuff is online, the information is there. It was a global um, commerce system that we had between the people on the mainland, the indigenous people on the mainland, and the people of the islands. We always traded back and forth. The people of the islands came to the mainlands and they had royal weddings. The people of the islands and the people of the mainland had already an advanced trade system going back and forth across the Atlantic with Africa. So Africans coming to the Americas was nothing new prior to 1492. So I mean, if you dig deep enough and you go out and look for the research, it's there. I mean, people want to debate, but you can't debate what they digging up. You can't debate certain facts that was written and then not shared with the masses of the people. So I'm gonna just leave y'all with that, with pretty much, just to open your mind. You know what I'm saying? That's why I call it the Matrix Unlocked. We wanna get in the reference of thinking of, my channel is here to bring awareness and unlock a lot of the hidden history that is available. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the hidden history that hasn't been told to us. As you see right here, you got the Olmec head. The Olmec head that they dug up in what they call now today is Central America. You have this gigantic statue of, someone of important reference, whether it was a ruler in that area or whether it was a deity. As you see the features, what they call these features are Negroid features, because across the planet, really, to really be real about it, it's only three true races. When you get into the Caucasoid, the Negroid, and the Mongoloid being of Asian descent, the Negroid being one universal to the planet, and the Caucasoid being that of the Europeans that were named named after the Caucasus Mountain, that region in Europe. So with this Olmec head, with the full lips, the full nose, the features, everything shows you that these were people that had Negroid features, and they was already here in the Americas. They was already here. So, I mean, the proof is there. I mean, it's up to, our people to get the information out that know. The people that don't know, it's time to wake up. It's time to do your own due diligence as far as research and find out your true ancestry. Not to denounce or say that you don't have any African ancestry at all in your DNA. That's not what I'm here to do, or that's not what I'm here to say. But what I'm telling you is, for the most part, the people that look like you were already on this continent, thousands of years before Columbus showed up. And I'm going to share another video of other people saying the same thing that pretty much supports what I'm saying.
They just go into a country, plague the whole place out, and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well.
Whoa.
The black people, they are the original owners of America. Black people,
Wow.
African Americans, they were already here, and they plagued them out, and they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled, stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left wondering who we are, where we come from, where we're going. We don't know anything.
You know, so pretty much what he's saying is the people in control of the information, the Jesuits, you know, the Vatican, the people who control what reaches our school books are the people who have been deceiving a lot of the true indigenous people of the Americas, you know, to convince them this is not their land, convince them that this land belongs to other, or I would say that this land belongs to no one. It's a land of immigrants. They love to say that. It's a land of immigrants. No, no, no. This land was occupied way before Columbus even showed up. Now we have a corporation that's operating as a false government on the land, and yeah, they're pretty much white. They have whitewash history is what we call it, the whitewashing of history. So with that being said, people, I'm gonna encourage you guys to do your research. You know, keep looking, keep searching, and you'll find the truth. So here you go, right here. The Luzia skull is the fossil of a woman who lived in Brazil around 11,500 years ago, and is one of the oldest human skeletons ever found in the Americas. 11,500 years. You know, so the information is there. The information is being put out, you know. And, you know, it's going to be some people that come with stuff that they've learned from academia, accredited by the West, the standards of Western education and European education, European history. So it's going to be a lot of people that, you know, still hold on to that, even my own people. So at the end of the day, you know, that's what this channel is about, is to unlock the minds of those who are seeking the true research, the true history, you know. And as far as our young people that was, you know what I'm saying, going through school and education systems and, you know, hearing a lot of the BS that was being pushed and all the agendas that was being pushed in history class, and you found it hard to pay attention to what was going on because it just didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense. It didn't add up. But we do have to realize that a lot of our people have genetic memory. And when I say genetic memory, I'm speaking on the memory that has been passed down from your ancestors. It speaks to you in volumes. You know, we think of it as a gut feeling. You know, some people phrase it as gut feelings or intuitions, but that inner child in you, when you were sitting in those classes, hearing all the BS about, you know, where you come from or where you don't come from, or none of your inventions that was bringing uh that was being brought out. You know, a lot of that stuff didn't resonate. You know, you couldn't feel it. You know what I'm saying? We are people of soul. We are people of spirit. We tend to feel things. You know, we feel when something is real. You know, and all of that has to do with your genetic memory, your genetic makeup. You know what I'm saying? The spirits of the ancestors letting you know that a lot of that stuff was false. But we're taught to cut off. We're taught to have a cutoff point. Not We don't learn about genetic memory. We don't learn about that. We don't learn about the information being encoded in our DNA, and some of the stuff that you learned when you was in school, where it just it collided in your brain. It just didn't make sense. You know, we had to go along to get along. We had to, you know what I'm saying, memorize false truths in history as it was true. That was only the indoctrination process. That was all that was. So basically, the whole thing is when once you graduate, you have to pretty much unlearn the false history and start doing your own independent research, and then bringing and then coming up, you know, and sharing your information, your discoveries with others that's like minded. You know what I'm saying? This channel is the Matrix Unlocked for a reason, because it's only for certain people. You know, a lot of people do social media for entertainment, for fun, for likes, to go viral. You know what I'm saying? I never had the desire to go viral. I just want the information to get out there, and then when people, you know what I'm saying, that are like minded, like me and my brother Rico, the initiate, the minister Mike, you know what I'm saying, and we have these bills, is to attract a certain type of individual that's looking for answers, when a lot of that shit just didn't seem right. You know, a lot of that stuff just didn't seem right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave out of here. But it's Shy the 9 the Reaper. You know, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below. I invite all information, or I invite anybody in the comments to, you know what I'm saying, leave your spill on how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I'm not going to debate about, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to debate about what research I have done, when I know most of the times the people that want to hold these arguments are only going off of academia, or they're only going off of history that they were taught in school. So there you is. I just shared a video with the findings of one of the oldest skulls found in America, dating back almost 11,500 years. So peace to the original people on the planet, you know, the people that's been here, like I said, for millions of years, that had this world mapped out long before the imperialists came into play to even take over. So, with that being said, you guys have a wonderful evening and enjoy the rest of your day. And 2025 is upon us. You know, God bless the people that was in the tragic accident in Washington D.C. You know, a lot of stuff is coming out about that I don't like, but you know, at the time, you know, my heart goes out to the family, so I'm gonna just, um, I'm gonna just keep my thoughts as far as what's going on when we see certain things happen like this that just don't make sense. But you know, again, like I said, my heart and condolences goes out to those, and you guys stay blessed. All right, peace.